Welcome back to Play the Hits. On this episode, 2B takes on religious extremism. How's it going tonight, Chris?
Damn, Max, whose pool did you piss in?
The what?
We were talking about Die Hard, and that's my favorite Die Hard line. McClane, you pissing in somebody's pool again?
It was a good movie. I was glad to watch it the other night.
Yeah, it was fine.
Okay, these are just
that's
the
a line from the
worshipy
second
kind
one,
of
though,
robots.
which apparently you've either never seen or have seen so little of that it might as well be non-existent.
Yeah, because I keep thinking the second one is Die Hard with a Vengeance or Die Harder or something.
Yeah, no, Die Hard with a Vengeance, I believe, was number 3. I think Die Hard 2 is sometimes called Die Harder, but I don't think that's an official title.
Okay. Maybe it was just the tagline.
Yeah.
You know what? I think it was the tagline. Die Hard 2, Die Harder.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Hey, what's up, Sparks?
Sparks?
2B. 2B's here. Wait. Oh, for a second there, I thought that was literally him. I thought that, like, became his body. I'm like, oh, that's kind of sad. Anyway.
Ooh.
Hey, speaking of religious extremism, happy January 6th.
Oh, gee, you know what? I thought about that this morning, and then I haven't thought about it again until just now.
Same here. I've not been on the news all day. I've just been enjoying the snowy weather with my kids. I've been playing Metaphor Refantasio.
Nice.
Sparks didn't even know there was a Die Hard 2. You know, I like Die Hard 2. 3 was where the series kind of fell off for me, but 1 and 2 I think are phenomenal films.
Oh, yeah.
I think 2 has maybe the weaker overall plot and not like a memorable villain at all. But what I will say about that one is that it had some really memorable kills, like when he gets the dude in the eyeball with the icicle.
Oh, I don't remember that.
It's not like gratuitous, awesome. But he's like the guy's like choking him, and they're like outside of this building, and it's the middle of winter, so everything's frozen, and an icicle fell off the roof, so he grabs the icicle and stabs him in the face.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Well, I know everything's going to hell, but I'm gonna sell some stuff because I really don't like picking shit up and then you can't pick it up.
Yeah.
Oh, but okay.
Oh man. So like Metaphor, one of the things that makes the game take a little while as far as like grinding, I would say it's maybe a little more grind heavy than Persona, not too terribly much, but the grinding is kind of rewarding because when you get to a certain level, it's kind of like Persona where you instantly kill the enemies if they're like,
good
3 or more levels below you. But like it all happens like instantaneously. There's like not an animation for it. They just go and they're gone. And you get a whole bunch of rewards. And it's a good way to like farm items both for crafting and for building up money, because money's kind of a hot commodity, at least for the first half of the game.
Okay. Yeah, I remember the original Persona 5. There was that insta-kill thing, but they didn't actually give you experience or money. And they fixed that in Royal, but yeah, that kind of sucked. It was just like, oh, you want to get through this quickly? It's like, yeah, but I'd like to.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely give you less, but at the same time, it's still like it's happening. You know, like you
I mean, it's definitely a time
continuously
saver.
gain levels and kind of like power yourself up before the next like major dungeon. So it's well worth doing, and I think I'm definitely overdoing it, but I'm also like trying to do as close to a perfect run as I can. Because I know, like, I'm probably not going to New Game Plus this one for a long time.
What is Spark saying?
More importantly, happy Epiphany, because it took 3 supposedly wise men 12 days to get a kid. It actually took them 2.5 years, if you look at the biblical narrative. If it had been women, they would have asked for directions and made it in 6. That's exactly right.
Wait, it took them that long? Shit.
Yeah, Jesus
I don't
was
know
a
the Bible at all.
when the wise men showed up. Another fun fact, we don't know if there were actually 3. There are 3 gifts, so we always assume there were 3 wise men, but it could have been a whole troop of them, or maybe it was just two bros. We don't know.
The thing is like, because I swear there's like either paintings or stuff, like
illustrations. Tons of art depicting three wise men, yeah.
At like the
but that assumption comes from 3 gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh.
Gotcha. Interesting.
I find it interesting, but then if I didn't, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing.
I know nothing of the Bible, apparently. Well, I guess more than, people who didn't go to parochial school, but...
Right.
I think I'm going the wrong way. It's funny is that this factory is like the first stage, but then you come back here like 3 more times, and it's humongous. You explored none of it the first time. And
this is the same area.
Lost. Yeah, but it's like I'm exploring areas like you've never seen, basically.
I was going to say, like, those silos, that was kind of a cool effect, like the dark in the background and everything.
Oh, guess I can't go this way. They're telling me.
This game surprises me quite a bit, because, like, I don't know, like, the opening was, like, really kind of cinematic and cool, but then I don't know, like, the open desert area and, like, the ruined city was okay. But, like, environments like this, I really get a kick out of. Like, these kind of set-piece places.
I love the factory. Ow!
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I also saw you're playing some FF4.
Wait, what?
It said on my Steam Deck that you were playing FF4.
Yeah, I'm trying to get all the achievements. So I'm replaying
I just started doing that with a couple Final Fantasies and Chrono Trigger, too.
Oh, that's fine. You said you platinum Chrono Trigger the other day, right?
I did, yeah. And
I'm just going to say platinum.
Like, it's really embarrassing because it's super easy to 100% that game, and it's my favorite game of all time. And it dawned on me that I hadn't done it. The last time I did it was, like, gotten all the endings and everything, was the DS version.
Yeah, you can get every ending in the single playthrough, right? I'm pretty sure. Like, you just have to...
No, the first one, there are like, your first run through, there are a couple of endings. In fact, most of the endings are unavailable to you, unless you're cheating. But the only way to get all of them is minimum of 2 playthroughs. And then, like, if you're using a guide, you just keep beating Lavos over and over again at specific points in the story, and then loading your story from right before that fight.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that it's like the first time you actually fight him, you can beat him, but not really. Like, it'd have to be New Game Plus.
Right.
Yeah,
so like in order to get like the hardest ending, which is where you beat him right at the beginning of the game, either with just Chrono or with Chrono and Marley, it's that one. Like you don't get the option to engage with him until New Game Plus, but then 2, if you try, you'd be dead.
Yeah. Wait, did I miss someone? Okay, he's
What the hell?
Kamikaze bots are really annoying.
There are a lot of kind of like treasure chest enemies in Metaphor that just like will punk you.
Oh yeah.
The nice thing is though, like, after you kill them, they still have the decency to give you a treasure, but they can be annoying if like you fail to heal right before opening a treasure chest, or you're not set up with like the specific skills that they're weak against.
Ah!
Oh
no!
God! No, my hubris.
And I don't even think there's anything over there. All right, let's try this again.
Just being a jackass.
I really was. All right.
So, did you guys get any winter weather?
Not really. We got like literally a dusting last night.
Whoops.
Okay, good. That killed me. Thank God it killed me.
Thank God. Tails shows up to drop you off. Here you go, Sonic.
God damn it, Tails.
Shut up, Tails. I don't need you.
Unreasonably angry with him. Let's see.
No, we got pounded over here. Like it started at about 7 a.m. yesterday and went until noon today with like the lightest that we got was just like it went from steady downfall down to like light downfall, but then back up to like heavy downfall. So like we're sitting on like 10 inches of snow right now.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
So the kids got a school day. Or
yep, and they're getting another one tomorrow. Fun. They've already announced it.
Does Michael remember ever getting a snow day? Is this like
no,
kind of
probably
new for him?
Not. Sparks says they got about a foot of snow. Office is closed for the first time.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Wait, Sparks, where are you at, or about what area?
I think she's in Ohio, if I remember right.
All right.
Let's dox her right here. Just put all her information. Cincinnati,
going
okay.
the right way.
Oh, okay, so yeah, you were along the same exact strip that Bloomington was.
There's a
just like 2 hours behind us.
And I've already done every side mission. It's kind of like Tails.
Yeah, right.
Oh, where's my light?
Why are you so bad at this game?
I'm bad at this game. It's not a platformer, although now it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say sometimes it is. That light, not super helpful once you jump.
No, it's not.
I love how quickly your health restores, though.
Oh, I have the cheapest chips available.
Kind of nice.
I have. Whee! Okay, that wasn't even worth it.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Cincinnati's massive enough that it's barely doxing. Yeah, right. Yeah, Cincinnati is. I actually really liked Cincinnati when I lived in Ohio. It was like I would go to Kings Island in the summer and everything. It was a nice city.
Oh, Kings Island.
Went to a few Bengals games.
They had an amusement park there.
What's that?
Kings Island has an amusement park, or?
Oh, it is Kings Island, Cincinnati.
Okay.
Or wait, Kings Island? Help me out, Sparks here. I'm pretty sure it's Kings Island. Yeah, it's got to be Kings Island. Because Kennywood is Pittsburgh. Yeah, it's Kings Island.
Oh yeah, a little secret. I think I already told you. If you turn the light on and off, they get that steam going.
Uh-huh.
It makes them, and at base, without any chips to modify it, it makes them 200% stronger.
Oh, God.
But it also makes them 200% weaker.
Oh, okay. 200% more thorny.
Which doesn't matter at my strength, but it was, they teach you how to taunt, like, 20 hours from now.
Oh, really?
But what they don't say is that you could do it from the beginning of the game.
Oh, interesting. Shit.
Because the person you taunt with doesn't really have you don't do it with the light. It's just part of their arsenal.
Okay.
But yeah, you could do it from the beginning of the game with the flashlight.
Interesting.
So that I changed the default controls because the flashlight they have is like R3. Where am I going?
Oh, so just click it on the right stick.
Yeah, and it's just like that's kind of annoying when you're trying to like move around and use the camera and dash and everything. So I have it set to what's the original gun button. And
nice.
Yeah, so the first time I was playing this game, or at least on Steam, I was just fucking all the time, just getting people pissed off.
Right.
Because it's a good way to kill them quickly. Do I have to go this way?
Sparks writes, the name of the park was originally Paramount's Kings Island, but Cedar Fairs bought them out and made it boring. Still insanely popular, though. Yeah, it was a good park. I mean, that's where they have, like, the Beast and the Son of the Beast, and if I remember right, it was the only, like, wooden coaster with a loop, which isn't really anything to brag about because it's every bit as bad of an idea as it sounds. It's just, like, painful to go through.
Hey, I made it. All right.
Yeah, I remember being in, like, downtown Cincinnati when I would go to, like, Bengals Steelers games, and, like, they had good restaurants, and it was like, a well-taken care of city. I thought it was really underrated, especially given, like, how crappy Ohio's cities tend to run. Like, yeah. Columbus is okay, but there's not much to it outside of offices and Ohio State University. Okay. Cleveland is tragic. Toledo is awful.
Why is Cleveland tragic?
It was part of the Rust Belt.
Yeah.
It's like one of those famous cities. Like, well, though Detroit's on the rebound. I don't know about Cleveland, but Detroit is on the rebound now. They're doing really well again. I'm not sure about Cleveland. Toledo's still Toledo.
Toledo's still Toledo. Or Toledo.
Yeah, right. That's right. We were pretty much Toledoans growing up.
Sort of, yeah. It was the only place that, might actually...
Well, like within driving distance that had stuff,
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because even like in college, I would like take my roommate from China to the Chinese supermarket there so that he could like get stuff that didn't make him sick. Oh.
I mean, he shouldn't be dangerous, but still. I'm just gonna run.
He is an asshole.
That's a lot.
Are these guys all praying to you, or what are they praying to?
No, I think they're just scared.
They're just scared.
They're just scared because some of them became super cultists.
Okay.
So these are like the I don't know, milquetoast liberals, and the ones that are killing themselves and everything are Trumpers in about 2 years.
Right. Makes sense.
There we go. There we go. Pascal, what are you doing? Holy shit. Like flying around like he's on coke.
Dude, so the metaphor part of Metaphor ReFantazio is essentially that like the game kind of lampoons all the
holy shit, there's a treasure chest. I didn't
racism and religious zealotry that are prevalent in our culture
really?
right now. Like that's what the game is actually about. And like there are a couple of instances where like some of what like happens in the main story or something that like one of the villains will say is like so on the nose that I'm like they had to have known that's gonna piss off Trump people. But then again, it was made in Japan by Japanese people, so I don't think. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't think they have that kind of astute awareness of American politics and like some of the things that are plaguing our country right now.
Yeah.
But it's so on the nose that it kind of makes me believe that they do and that they did.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah,
it's a really good game to play. If nothing else, that like its central message is, you know, hey, let's just not be a racist asshole. And imagine if we got someone on the throne who actually had the best interest of the people in mind. Like that's what the whole game is about.
So you say that you're trying to basically ascend to the throne or something? Is it
so like
a birthright? Or?
Yeah, so like the opening part of the plot establishes that well, your character's basically running as a surrogate for a candidate who is in a magical induced coma. But I'm kind of waiting to see how it plays out, because as the game rolls on, it becomes apparent that like the character you're playing as is a really awesome person and should probably be on the throne themselves, but they're running for the sake of the prince, who is really kind to them and is currently in a coma.
Yeah.
But yeah, like right at the beginning of the story, they establish like it. There's like this floating magical demigod thing, and he's like, okay, you people suck. I'm gonna make sure that there's like a decent person on the throne, and we're gonna do it by essentially holding the world's first real election. Okay. And so it's like, instead of, you know, someone ascending to the throne by bloodshed or subterfuge, it's going to be the will of the people. And so you're basically participating in this contest to claim the throne.
So maybe it's not necessarily America's problems right now, but incidentally it is, because it's just how the world deals with, not feudalism, but...
Yeah, but at the same time, like, the villain character... He's got some pretty Trumpian ideals, but, you know, it's kind of interesting, though, because you could say that, but Trump is just such a naturally villainous person that you could almost look at any villain and kind of, like, see overlap between, like, the horrible things they do and the horrible things he talks about doing.
Yeah. And a lot of politically what he does is just, like... from the fascist playbook.
Right, exactly. And it just so happens that this game is more like politically motivated in its storytelling than a lot of games. So so naturally, me thinking about like the horrors of another Trump presidency, which is about to start, I don't know, maybe I'm kind of like looking for it, but like I said, there's some lines that almost like they're kind of like Trump quotes with just a few words changed.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is really interesting, and it's a wonderful game to play for no other reason than like living out the fantasy of like, you know, beating Trump in a campaign. Though the big difference though is like the villain who you fight in this game, he's like an actual competent threat.
Yeah.
Whereas Trump is just like a bass-ackwards incompetent threat. Still a threat though. Damn, you just chopped right through him.
Yeah, I think that's... Yeah, it is. And that's unfortunate, because that's one of my favorite songs of the game. I think they play it again. They play it again, but it's very Ghost of the Shell, kind of like the very first.
I wasn't even paying attention. It kind of looks like he's shitting fire in the dark.
Yeah, kind of gross.
Why did I eat so much Taco Bell? I don't know what he actually sounds like. Mega Man.
Why not?
I got poop again, Mega Man. I ate too much Taco Bell.
Which incidentally exists in our world.
I'll never learn, Mega Man. You know, it's kind of funny because when you look at the Mega Man games, They all take place in 20XX. I mean, we're running out of like years that the XX could reasonably stand for.
I'm pretty sure Mega Man 1 and 2, at least the first one, and I'm pretty sure Mega Man 2 said 200X.
Oh, really?
And then they were like, "Oh,
so
you know what?
Like 2009 or something."
It's just like, we better change this.
It's always funny to like go back to like media properties from like the late 80s and early 90s and see how optimistic they were about like what the world would look like in 40 years.
Right?
30,
like, I'm sure
they were
they were, most of these were like, "Hey, this is the end of the world." But they were also like, I mean, obviously there's space travel.
Yeah, like there's definitely space travel. They've cured cancer. People are like living forever in machines. That's all just a given. I remember, shoot, what was it? I think I rented...
Everyone who's bowing has to die.
Nice.
Sorry, it's just, like, you know what? I can't ask questions anymore. I'm in a hurry.
Shit. What movie did I rent? I think it was actually, weirdly enough, a Godzilla film. One of the older ones, because it was definitely still in black and white. But, like, the whole premise... Well, shoot, it can't have been Godzilla, because Godzilla didn't do anything like that for a long time.
What's that?
Oh, okay, so I'm thinking out loud, and my train of thought isn't making a whole lot of sense, but there was a movie I remember renting as a kid, and the opening sequence of it has the future, 1997, you know, and everything. It's like, you know, what we picture as like Star Trek futurism, but it was 1997.
1997, which literally
it's
like,
is what
okay,
people in the 50s and 60s thought 97 would be like.
I mean, maybe it felt that way if, like, technology was just going so quickly.
Yeah, but I mean, like, look at the world today, like how quickly technology is going, but it's just not quite... I mean, for one thing, the optimism that they felt when making these properties is diminishing fast. But then another thing, like, technology is just moving or evolving in different directions than we kind of thought. Like, instead of flying cars and space elevators, we have... Bitcoin and
cell phones and mini computers and stuff.
Yeah, right. And
which is still amazing.
Like we were talking about last episode, I really like a lot of the technology that we have access to today, but a lot of it, you know, there was that kind of naivete where like no one will abuse this for the sake of the few wealthy people. Like we really should have seen that coming.
I remember Crystallis, which we played on this channel.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like the far future, 1997.
1997,
like,
yeah, that's exactly right.
Which I think was like only 10 years in the future, not even when that game was made. So it's like,
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, now, wait a minute. There's the future, and then there's like the next decade.
Floating tower?
Come on, guys.
Also, they're talking about the ancients and stuff. Like, shouldn't we remember that?
Yeah.
No,
oh, I don't know if that was a translation thing or it's just like 1997. In a galaxy far, far away. Oh, okay.
Heading back to the resistance camp. What about
I kind of hope I do live to see 2077 just to see, like, how much of, like, the cyberpunk fantasy becomes reality. Like, I wouldn't mind, for instance, like, when eventually I get old enough that, like, I have to start considering, like, knee replacement and stuff like that, if one of my options is just, like, a, you know, like, not bone, but, like, a completely mechanical joint that will never fail me. That'd be kind of cool.
What was it in Altered Carbon, that detective, when she like lost her arm, all of a sudden she was she got a better arm. And it was like, oh, okay, well, why don't we just do that? Like Jax from Mortal Kombat had the right idea. Like,
yeah, right.
Get rid of these useless things.
Sparks comments, oh, hey, he's still shirtless while the other guy was fully dressed when he died. They go through various stages of undress throughout the narrative, Sparks. It's all symbolic, is what you have to remember.
I think Adam was a little more...
demure?
He played the bigger brother role. And, now they start airdropping.
Oh, so like the young punk character has to remain perpetually shirtless?
Yeah, you know what? They do, I think.
Yeah, they do that.
But they're the one, I mean, you'll see in another scenario that he's always just like, big brother, let's play. And it's just like...
Put your shirt on and we'll talk about it.
Sort of. Yeah, he's just like, why do we have to wear clothes? And Adam's like, well, this is just what humans did.
Oh, okay.
And they're trying
That's
trying to emulate, weirdly, as the most highly advanced machines, they're trying to emulate humans because they're so fascinated by them.
Why are their numbers increasing like this?
Oh, and they're doing that thing.
I kind of get the feeling that, like, to whatever degree AI does become aware of itself, that might be sort of where it goes. It is like, how can we make machines that are more human-like?
Yeah. And that'll just be purely for our sake. Like,
I hope so.
Yeah, I don't think they'll need it. But, yeah. I also see in the very far future something like this, where they're like, well, why were our creators the way they were?
Yeah, right.
Doing such illogical things, and then they figure out emotions, and then the world starts over again. Or something.
Right, yeah. And, like, I still don't have, like, the most concrete understanding of AI in its current form. But I have to imagine that, like, anyone who is responsible for implementing its thought process is at least informing it that humans don't make decisions based on reason
Pure
or,
logic.
like, simple, what's the word I'm looking for? Numerically quantified outcomes, right?
Yeah.
Emotion messes with our judgment and thought-making process, right? Which, again, in a lot of sci-fi movies, is what makes the machine say, oh, well, that's a huge oversight and a big weakness. Humanity needs to be exterminated.
It kind of seems to be,
But, like, if that's
thread.
kind of the baseline, like, what we're relying on the machines for is to give us, like, just the hard numbers, like the mathematically appropriate choices, so that we can kind of achieve, like, a symbiosis where we work together to make the best outcome, hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, but then there's this. Yeah, this is looking more and more likely as we enter a new era of Trump. Are they eating humans? Yeah, that was perfect comedic timing, by the way. To achieve a more perfect symbiosis where we're working for our best interests. Are they eating humans? Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
God.
technically, these are all androids.
How did the vision go so wrong?
Out of nowhere, overran the entire camp. We tried to fight back, but our shots have no effect.
It's kind of funny because the fire is actually a little bit of an improvement for this camp. This is just kind of a depressing area.
A little bit, yeah.
Get the other androids out of here. Good luck.
Yeah, so technically the only humans that are around are on the moon.
Okay, so there are still humans.
We haven't seen any humans yet.
Oh, man, there's the other part of Metaphor. That's not even a spoiler. It's revealed within, like, the first 5 minutes of the game, but humans are in the game, in that game, like, but you don't play as them. There's all these different races of, like, different creatures that mostly have, like, human-like properties, though some of them are pretty, like, animalistic, like, looking creatures.
Yeah.
But, like, just straight-up humans are in this game, but there's a twist to it, and I won't ruin what that is, even though it gets revealed in the first 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, in Metaphor
humans?
ReFantazio, you don't ever play as a human, but there are definitely humans. Sparks writes, humans also have a degree of creativity that computers lack. They can think laterally. That's true, and I think if there's any edge that will ever preserve us from a machine takeover, it's that kind of, like, lateral creative thinking that, and hopefully just, like, the sheer amount of safeguards that are hopefully being implemented right now as we, engage with AI for the first time.
President Musk will never go for safeguards.
Yeah, right. God. Now, Musk doesn't have anything to do with AI currently, right?
I think he's invested in it.
Well, I'm sure he's got money and everything, without question. But I don't think there's, like, a development wing of Tesla that's just, like, trying to get Elon his robot girlfriend, right?
Wait, what was the last thing you said about robot girlfriend?
So like, I was gonna say, yeah, I'm sure he has money in everything, but, like, he's not actively involved with, like, the creation or implementation
not his
of
companies,
AI
as far as
right?
I know.
There's not like a wing of Tesla that's dedicated to giving him his robot girlfriend.
Yeah, I don't think so.
At least not yet.
If it is, we don't know about it.
Sparks writes AI would threaten his masculinity. Yeah, right. He's revealed himself as kind of like an alpha bro or whatever they're called, where, you know, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant men are the pinnacle of creation, and we need to, you know, undermine everything that's not white Anglo-Saxon Protestant men. So you're right. I don't think he'll. I think the way that he talks or presents himself, AI would kind of be a fundamental threat to. Which is weird, because nothing in his career has ever indicated that those would be his views. Like, it's nakedly transparent what he's trying to do. He's using Trump and the Conservative Party as a means to seize private power for himself, like a lot of people in the conservative movement right now are doing. It's just frustrating to watch it be so successful over and over again.
And we're allowing it to happen.
Well, because there's a tremendous portion of our population that sees that and it's like, oh yeah, I want to be part of the party with all of like the really successful billionaire white guys, because then maybe I'll be a really successful billionaire white guy. And no, that's not why they're doing this. They're not doing it to help you succeed, man. No. Sorry.
I feel like there's maybe a little bit of like realization for some people, but it's
but by then it's usually too late.
It's
usually after, you know, like the campaign promise to like bring jobs back to their community has been completely forgotten about, that they realize stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Or, you know, they have to lose a couple of loved ones and family and beloved family friends to, you know, I guess not COVID anymore, but neurovirus or something.
I was about to say, like,
wait, they didn't actually want to protect me or have my best interest in mind. and, you know, I'm not a fool. I'm not thinking that every single, you know, Democrat has my best interest in mind either. Far from it. But at the same time, I would say policy-wise, they're a little bit more invested in, you know, fair treatment for more folks than just the wealthy few serving in office right now.
Yeah, literally every single government program I can think of that people have benefited from came from, like, Democrats.
Yeah, exactly, which is why I still call myself a Democrat. Like, it sucks to be perpetually on a party that's so out of touch that it can't get a, you know, female candidate elected over a serial rapist, you know.
Yeah. But
that's kind of the... Anyone who says that we'll just vote third party is delusional right now.
If we saw that could work, like in primaries, as if there was the writing on the wall, sure,
I'd go for it in a heartbeat.
It was never going to happen this time. Like,
right.
I don't know if it's going to happen in my lifetime, unfortunately. I hope, but
well, I think if anything, we might still see a split in the Republican Party that's so big that, you know, there's like the, you know, America Party and the, you know, Trump Party or whatever.
That's much closer to happening than like a split in the Democratic Party.
And meanwhile, the Democrats won't be able to beat either of them. So,
yeah.
I hope that's not true, but that's just how I feel right now.
I get you.
I'm still just bummed out about this last election. Like, it wasn't debate-wise, policy-wise, you know, everything. Like, the economy, there was not a single card that Trump had to play that would give him an edge over Kamala, except... Seriously. Do you really want a woman bleeding all over the highest office in the land?
God.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Without saying it, basically. But
I mean, he said it, but...
he has said it to other people.
Crooked, incompetent Kamala with, you know... Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm going to work myself up again about it, but...
Just watch this compelling tale of machines and the end of the world.
Yeah. Sparks, he's going to build the wall and make the other guys pay. The wall never happened. I mean, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's not like this happened. It's not like Trump is, you know, some new character who's repeating the policies of a long-gone politician. Like, he's the same guy that he was in 2016. We watched all of this happen 8 years ago. Like, we know what he's going to do and how he's going to do it.
Yep.
And nevertheless, there are still people who are like, oh no, the only reason his first presidency failed so hard was because the Democrats got in his way so bad. Really? Didn't you just kill him?
Nah.
And here you are.
He's just gone hollow on us.
He's got basically, yeah.
That this world.
That was Bleach, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Hollow.
that was Bleach.
Yeah, the hollows.
Fun fact, the symbols on his black side, well, now it's everything, but
the symbols on his
were for the
body.
Watchers.
And now, everything must die!
Seems reasonable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess he's going to go down like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, I think so. Yep. Where'd you go?
Massive energy signature detected.
He's already dead. The plot's just not ready for him to die.
He's absorbing the life force of whatever's left on the
Oh my god.
Oh, I don't know if he can keep up.
This part is meant to be like really discouraging as he restores his health back to full.
I'm going to try hacking into Eve and shutting him down. Back me up.
Like, that's okay, I'll just roll with it.
Back me up. Oh, okay.
Cut off from network functionality.
Oh my god, it hurts so bad.
God.
Eve's a girl's name. I want Wally to show up and, have something to say about all this.
Wally stops the war.
Eva. What was that questionable tagline? Once you go black, you never go back. Not sure it applies to this situation, but yeah.
Maybe.
Hey, her masky thing came off. Now we can see how hot she really was.
Yeah, it's like the glass is coming off, and I'll go to. I don't know how that works.
Wow. I mean, I get it. You've beaten this game into the ground and you've earned this, but it's still funny to watch.
Whoop.
Oh no, I have received damage.
Oh,
Wait,
no.
what is that health bar?
Oh, it's because my chips are getting messed up.
You've broken the game with how powerful you are.
Oh yeah, thankfully it's my health bar.
Yeah, right? Give him the old dick twist. Oh, wait,
that
no.
part's supposed to be a little bit more dramatic.
Eh.
I'm supposed to be like really dying for a long time. And it's like, yeah, I don't think the story can keep up.
Twist his dick! Give him the old dick twist.
Finally.
Remind me what the eye coverings are supposed to mean.
I have no idea.
It's just the aesthetic.
Because they look cool.
Okay.
Too much information going in. I don't know. I think the anime might have said something about it, but I don't remember. You know, it's literally just to make it look cool.
Yeah, just to look cool.
Just like Kojima, it's just like, oh, quiet. It was she absorbs. Through her
she
skin.
has to absorb things through her skin. Yeah.
Shut up.
Shut up. You just wanted a hot bikini chick to follow you around.
I must have been corrupted when Eve detached.
Oh shit, is 9S going rogue?
You going rogue?
Or are we going rogue on 9S?
It's okay.
You better stab that shit.
My backup
Mhm.
from the bunker.
But you'll lose you. The you that exists at this very moment.
Guess so. But we can't upload this corrupted
Sparks
data to the
9S,
bunker.
no.
So
9S.
Don't you play as him next?
Yep.
Do you get to play as evil 9S?
No.
Oh,
please do.
That's not till later.
that's not till later.
Do
I want you. So we're just putting that out there now. Oh, to do this for me.
I mean, it's a pretty not subtle at all allegory.
I haven't been paying close enough attention. Allegory for what?
Oh, she's gonna straddle him.
Oh, sweet. Quick, before I die. I want to go to my grave having not felt that sweet robo vagina. I had to pause and stop for a second and be like, what's the robot equivalent to a vagina? Still just a vagina.
I like how it's kind of like how in the future when there's nothing but space,
right?
You still say like space pope or something.
Space pope,
because we live in the future right now. I want
Quick,
that
interface with my solid
vagina.
state drive. Senpai.
You channeled Sonic a little bit there. I like it.
Oh my god, that dude. I sent you that text, right?
Oh yeah. Whoa, jeez.
He didn't stop after. He's like, well, could you try it, please? I'm like, no, stop.
I don't know if he's trolling or if that's just the kind of sickos we
Zoe
have
Grove my followed play the hits. Thank you, Zoe. If their robots, why does strangulation work? She cut off all the oxygen to his processor.
Yeah. Duh.
Easily, yeah. All right, we're feeling things.
It always ends like this.
Those are some serious tears. Who installed tear ducts on a robot?
I know, it's a lot of things. Blood, tears.
Right. I mean, the blood, maybe it's like, it's their fuel, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Tears, I don't get. The fuck is this thing? I hate it.
Yeah,
I irrationally hate it.
There's still some alive.
I mean, yeah. It's a lot of irrational hate to go around.
Do something about that.
Punt it.
Punt it. Yeah, kick it across the stratosphere here.
God,
give him the old heels.
machine!
Give him the old dick twist. That was another great Whitest Kids You Know.
I was thinking, is that for Whitest Kids You Know?
Twist his dick. Do it. Give him the old dick twist. Did we just lose?
Nah.
Or is this a good thing? I mean, their eyes are green, so it's got to be good, right?
Yeah, right? Green's good.
Green's good. Green with the good
You were
killer
saying
robots.
earlier you thought 9S became a robot.
The world just like starts collapsing in on itself as the inspiring music continues to play.
The world's healed by dying.
Wait a second, 2B.
Who are?
I was just a little drunk is all.
Like I left my personal data in the machine side of things. Next thing I knew, my sense of self was regenerated over the surrounding network.
Yeah, seems
Having
reasonable.
multiple cells fused together like this is a pretty
Now about that interfacing we were gonna do.
I couldn't access any storage areas yet, so I just multiplexed it over the memories of some nearby enemies, so that when I returned to my own body, I...
Yes.
Yeah, just shut up. I get it. I get the point.
You're okay.
Yeah.
Now you learn 2B is a big old liar.
Oh really?
Just like how cold she's been towards him
Oh, I see.
this whole game.
I thought she was about
And
to say
then-
something like really horrible.
What is it that
Oh, no.
separates machines
Like, yeah,
from
turns out she's a huge liar.
And you figure that out more as the game goes on, but
consciousness?
Sparks
you see a
is
little
so
bit of
filled right
that
now.
when she killed him, or when she thought she killed him.
Summoned on the edge of
And not just because of the panties. She generally wanted him to live.
they still echo within me.
NieR Automata is almost done.
It's the
Not
closing theme.
really.
For
Because it's for
machines.
endings.
I
guess I'll let the credits play.
Taro, Japanese voices, Yui Ishikawa, Natsuki Hanai.
It's like this is gonna get racist real quick.
Alright.
It took me way too long to figure out the operators. They would say 60, 210. I just thought it was like 60, 210. But it's like everyone
Oh.
else that has like a B or an S at the end.
I see.
Or O for operator.
O for operator.
So 9S is a scanner unit.
Interesting.
2B is a battle unit, although is she, ... question mark.
Is she? Or is she a sexual unit?
Well,
Wait, I guess that would still be 9S.
S is
wouldn't
already
it?
taken. Maybe X? 2X? But, you know, you
Triple
lose
X.
the whole to be or not to be thing going.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. All right, so I guess this is where we get into the second arc of the game, huh?
Yeah, I think there's a little... Oh, no, that's at the end of 9S's thing. I think there's a little trailer. It's like, next time on NieR Automata. But that might
so when
be
this
at the
game
end
came
of...
out, this was all one continuous story, right? It's not like this was originally just
DLC
2B
or
story and
something?
then the other two came out as DLC?
No, it was all the same game, so...
Okay.
It was
it's
all
just like
together from the
it
beginning.
never advertised itself that way.
Yeah, it was. Although if you play NieR, which I didn't, or I did, but I got nowhere close to beating it. NieR was very much the same way. Drakengard kind of was too, but Drakengard was like you had to redo the game in order to get the different endings. Or
okay, that's what I thought about
Drakengard.
Drakengard.
But NieR was very much like, okay, you got this ending, now continue, but play as this person.
Okay. Sparks, you think you've beaten the game, but then they Billy Mazed it.
Basically, you play as 2B, then you play as 9S, then you play as someone else and someone else at the same time. That's about it.
Okay. Interesting.
It's
but does the story continue to revolve around 2B, or are you just kind of seeing the same story through different lenses?
With 9S, it's the same story we just did, but you feel a little bit more sympathy for the machines, because with his hacking ability, you kind of get into their memories and stuff.
Oh, interesting.
And then after the 9S scenario, then the rest of the game is like just completely new. Where it continues off from now. So 9S's ends right about here as well.
So they like built the sequel into the main game, huh?
Sort of, yeah, basically.
That's impressive.
And it's not just like here's last mission. It literally is like, oh, holy fucking shit, like everything changed.
Wow. Damn.
So it gets good. It gets really good after 9S's scenario.
Okay. How long is 9S's scenario comparatively?
It's shorter.
Okay.
It's a little bit shorter, I think, and it keeps your interest because, especially you saw in this one, there's a lot of separation time where you're away from 2B, so there's a little bit of difference there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say in general it's shorter, and it's a little more fun for me because I like the hacking minigame.
Okay.
It's basically just like, I don't know, Geometry Wars or something, but yeah. And you get to hear like little...
that, yeah.
Little 8-bit versions of every song of the game, so.
Side note, I love the way that Square Enix names their departments. You know, like other like development studios will be called like, you know, Omega Siphon Development Studio or Team Blue Dragon or something like that. But Square Enix is like Creative Business Unit 3.
Business Unit 1, Business Unit 3, yeah. And
I love it.
It makes it easy to keep track, I guess.
Yeah, it sure does. You know exactly the names making your game.
Dude, I still need to beat the Leviathan Tides of something for FF16. But I'm just thinking about the credits for FF16. I think they're like half an hour long or something. Like, I was just sitting there. I'm like, hell, I'm gonna watch these credits. I earned it. And like 15 minutes later, I'm like, whoa, like, right. I know a lot of people made this game, but shit, it's taking forever.
Sparks, that matches the character naming in this game. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Business Unit 1, 2, 3. Business Unit B. All right, I think that's
You
about
can't skip
it.
the credits. I mean, you would have done that by now.
Oh, you can.
God damn it, Max.
I wanted to see the credits.
You gotta see the credits. I'll be damned if I'm watching them 2 more times.
Oh, here it is. It's just a special message. This game has several different storylines that change each time you play.
You thought you were
witness
done.
The A routes. There are still many story elements and changes to the gameplay systems you have not seen yet. We highly recommend you play again to witness the full NieR Automata experience. They're kind of like, hey, don't quit yet. I know it seems like the end, but stop.
This was not the end. We want to be very clear on that. We just didn't know how to structure it.
But the credits were a little too real.
You know, the weird thing is, you didn't beat Dragon Quest XI, did you?
Oh no, I haven't even played it.
Okay, that weirdly enough, that game kind of does the same thing, where like you.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, where like you beat the main story, and it's like this is the real ending. But if you want to keep playing, there might be a whole second story in there that gives you a completely different ending.
I know, like, a few of the games have, like, okay, here's the optional ending, but kinda it's the real ending.
Yeah, there's usually some pretty good post-game content. Dragon Quest XI was a whole second scenario that
like, you
gave
haven't
you the true
finished
ending.
the game, basically.
Alright, so... just jumping right in, huh?
Yeah, why not?
Other brother? Oh, this is gonna make me sad, isn't it? What is death? Why do we live if we are destined to die?
Asking the real questions.
Oh God, you're playing as it. No. Is this 9S?
No.
Oh, I thought like this was like how 9S got his start or something, you know?
Oh.
He was just like a utility bot that
was
way destined for more. Oh God. This is so depressing.
Ugh. Yeah, it is a little bit.
It's also depressing how slow he moves.
I know, and I'm sure there's a dodge mechanic. Maybe it's because you can control robots later with 9S.
Okay.
And usually they have a dodge mechanic, and the dodge mechanic for these little guys is pretty quick.
Interesting.
Also, you can totally spill this fucking oil, and that's depressing. I'm not going to do that.
Because they don't give you another try?
No, they give you another try, but it's like, just, they'll give you as many tries as you fucking want. You just better not go over these poles. Well, there's a pole right here, so I'll just show you. Like, oh, jeez. Oh.
Sparks is now upset. She goes, oh, no, I love the little robots. I really didn't think about them at all during 2B's campaign, but I guess that's the whole point of 9S's campaign, right?
Yeah. 2B, it's just like, yeah, killing's fun.
Yeah, killing is fun. How fucking badass we are. I don't suppose you can jump with that on your head, right?
No.
No.
I can try. Damn it!
Why am I so uncoordinated? If only I was
cool. Programmed to feel pain. If I were cooler, maybe brother wouldn't have had to die.
Alive. I lacked the requisite cool.
Oh no, he's lost the shine in his eyes.
Oh Jesus!
I don't know if that's a.
Are you on a time limit?
No, but I've never failed this before. Maybe you can fail it if you trip a third time.
Kind of like Sid in FF6 if you don't bring him the right kind of fish.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Why?
I mean, I feel like that was...
Are you feeding me poison fish?
Like, I don't know.
They all
it's
look
somewhat
the same.
Obvious, but they don't explicitly tell you catch the fast fish. Like,
there's also some RNG in that part, at least in the SNES original.
Yeah.
Like, where you can easily just, like, fail out of it, not of your own doing, just because they never spawn the right kind of zippy fish.
Yeah. Yeah, and once you pick up a fish, you can't pick up another one for some reason until you feed it to them.
Yep.
It's like, oh, you clicked on the wrong one.
Why does this work? What kind of freaking mechanics? Just pour some oil on it.
Just pour oil on him. He's trying.
You know there was some asshole who like drove their car into a mechanic like, hey, my engine just started smoking and let's pour some oil on it. Oh, you're the mechanic.
Ooh, I can get one of the endings right now.
You want to see an ending? I got an ending.
9S here. Go ahead.
The Q ending.
Have commenced their descent. Disable the enemy base's defense systems immediately.
Roger that.
All right. Whee. Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta play as Tails now.
It still sounds like Sonic.
Right.
Defense systems cannot be reached from the ground.
Yeah, here we go.
Alert.
Hope you weren't looking for something being cool again. Now you're stuck with Tails. Can't control my curiosity about machines anymore. Well,
the
okay.
G ending.
Did he just like peace out?
Yeah, he
Okay.
abandoned the mission.
Sweet.
And abandoned everything. I hope I don't have to do that fucking oil thing.
You very well might.
No, I think it'll just start me. It'll just start me right. Oh, maybe not.
Oh,
All right.
no.
I needed the ending. I need all the endings.
You've already got the trophy, Max. It's over.
Actually,
Shut up, you.
I gotta see what achievements I'm missing in this.
Going back to
I
like 45 minutes ago when we were talking about like the Final Fantasy achievements, like all of a sudden, like I don't know what struck me, but I was like kind of looking at my Steam profile the other day, just like some of the collectibles that I've earned. I'm like, how pathetic. Just like decided to like actually, you know, try to go for some achievements in games that I really like.
I don't know why that hit us around the same time. Maybe it was you when you told me you completed Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, that's what got me started. Like that was honestly what did it. Like I was looking at my thing and it's like, hey, you can add a new showcase on your profile since you just hit level 30 something.
Oh, that might have been what it was.
And so I was like, oh, okay. I can feature my favorite game, which is Chrono Trigger. And so I did that. It's like, you've achieved only 4 of 13 achievements and have played for 40 hours. I'm like, fuck that. And then I just kind of got like into it. I'm like, oh, okay. I've been on Steam for close to 20 years now, which is wild to think about. And so I have like a whole bunch of like backlogged points to spend and like trading cards to convert into badges.
Yeah.
So I did a bunch of that all at once, and I jumped up like 10 levels and have not like a whole bunch because I've not been actively aiming for it, but like I just randomly decided to make my profile shinier.
Yeah, no, I get it. And it was to showcase something. Like I think that's what did it for me too. It's just like, okay, well, the most obvious thing is like either rarest achievements or badges or something, and it's like, and I don't have any badges basically.
Right.
I have like 4 or something. So I haven't traded anything in as far as like playing cards and stuff, or they're not even playing cards, but yeah, all of a sudden the bug hit me where it's just like, I want to get these achievements even though they don't really get you anything.
Yeah, even though they don't really give
like
you
last
anything.
year.
I mean, it's just bragging rights. It's kind of like the social media aspect of Steam.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is kind of cool because there are games like that I've enjoyed so much that I like to share about or basically just make free advertising on my profile for.
Oh yeah.
But like what I realized is I had like 1 million cards from different games and a lot of them were duplicates. So I just listed all of the duplicates for sale and then used those like pennies to buy the cards that I needed to complete my badges.
Oh, you could like buy the cards from the game, or from other people, like from a market?
Yeah. So the cards that other people have listed for sale, you can buy, and you can like spend your real world money to do that, and it's still pretty cheap, which is nice. But all I did was just sell a whole bunch of like duplicate cards that I had from games that I don't care about, and that just saved all of the ones from like Chrono Trigger and Yakuza and Final Fantasy and Cyberpunk and stuff like that. So like I was able to get a couple of good badges for that.
Nice.
Like I have, let me see here, three that I've leveled up all the way, and that's Final Fantasy V, Chrono Trigger, and Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Nice.
The other ones are I just have like the level 1 badges, which is just get all of the cards and make the badge. But then you can, you know, go and get all of the cards 4 more times and get up to a level 5 badge. And then that's where I spent the, you know, the pennies from my extra cards.
Gotcha. I don't know much about the badges at all. I gotta look into that.
It's literally just bling for your profile. But again, it's like these are my favorite games, and so they're the ones that I'm pouring all my time and effort into.
And like you said, it's like like a social media aspect. Like you can spend money,
yeah,
but they don't make it that expensive, and it's extremely easy, especially if you're like us, who you don't pay attention to your profile for a long time. That it's just like, oh, I got everything
17
I need.
years.
Yeah, it was only until last year, like I would get the points, and I was like, oh yeah, there's some thing with badges or something with these points, and I didn't realize, and it got a lot more valuable with the Steam Deck.
Right.
Is you can buy avatars, you can buy intro movies with these points, and I'm like, oh, I have 200,000 points.
Yeah, me too. Like I have a whole bunch of like points, and so I got some cool intro movies for my Steam Deck and like profile themes and stuff like
emoticons, even though I never chat with people.
Yep.
They do a good job of like
yeah, they do, like the digital collectibles. They're essentially what are they called? NFTs, non-fungible tokens.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is cool. This is hacking.
This is hacking, yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm on the main. I'm jacked into the mainframe. But yeah,
I don't know
that
why.
was I kind of had that thought. It's like, okay, now I want to be careful because on the one hand, this is kind of addictive, but I'm not about to start dropping real world money on it.
Yeah, I definitely don't care enough about it.
Yeah,
I mean that's how it starts, though, huh?
that's exactly what I was thinking. You know, like all of these like meaningless achievements. But then watch, like, you know, when Starship Earth gets launched or whatever, when we bleed out this planet, like the people with, you know, high steam levels and achievements are the ones who get chosen.
It's Elon Musk and then like Gabe Newell in the same level.
Elon Musk, Gabe Newell, and Donald Trump's head in a jar.
Turns out we need nerds like you, Gabe.
Yeah, right.
I know.
Gabe, who do you select to go with us? I know the only way to decide this contest. Steve achievements. Thank you, Gabe. God, there's like a whole sci-fi premise here. Gabe Newell's Apocalypse.
Oh, gee, yeah, we could do a whole Logan's game or Running Man thing.
Where people just have to compete to like get as many Steam achievements as they can and as quickly as they can.
That sounds fucking awesome. And, you know, it's the plot for a couple 80s movies, but
right,
it sounds fucking awesome.
But, you know, it's like the one contest, like, for survival that you and I would actually have a shot at.
Have a good chance at, yeah.
Right? The geek will inherit the earth.
That is such an 80s movie plot where it's just like, Chris Max, the fate of Amazonian boob world relies on your knowledge of Final Fantasy.
As we know it is in their two sweaty hands. I can see the trailer now. Like the soundtrack of Dumb and Dumber is playing in the background, you know? The what was it? Ska. Like a whole bunch of ska.
Oh my god.
90s movies were weird, man.
90s movies were weird. Late 80s movies were weird too, but they were cool.
Like what was it about, well, ska in particular, that was like, that like really spoke to our parents?
That's like matcha to me, where it's just like, I just feel like the country lost its damn mind for a couple years.
Right?
I mean, I do like No Doubt, I will say, but ska in general, it's just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, what are we doing? Like, reggae is fine in the hands of like the black artists who invented it. Why are we having these skinny white dudes do it now? Only worse because they're it's kind of satire, but not really.
Ow!
Oh shit! Oh,
I don't
that's
know
right.
why.
When you're in the robot, the level scale.
It's always level 99, and I don't understand. Why is that?
Because it doesn't happen anywhere else. It's so weird.
They haven't explained that to me. I just got to be careful. Not get hit.
All things being equal, though, I'd be lying if I said the opening theme from Dumb and Dumber wasn't like an earworm for me. The whiny,
I don't know what that one is. I gotta go back to it. I gotta watch that movie again, actually, along with some other just Jim Carrey movies.
Right.
Those movies are fucking awesome. They're amazing.
What's your favorite Jim Carrey film?
It might be, I mean, The Mask, probably.
Really? The Mask?
And that's not even, it's not even about the humor as much as it's just like a classic movie to me. Yeah. But as far as what makes me laugh the hardest, it's Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber is like a classic for a reason. I'm a little bit worried that if I watched Ace Ventura today, I wouldn't like it anymore, so I'm not.
I get you.
But I remember as a kid thinking it was like the pinnacle of comedy. But weirdly enough, my favorite Jim Carrey movie is Me, Myself, and Irene. Kind of an underdog pick.
That is an underdog pick.
One, because I think some of the humor in it is genuinely freaking hilarious. But then two, it's actually, beneath its exterior, kind of a very sweet story. And I just enjoyed it.
It is, and it has Renee Zellweger.
It's also, yeah, right. It's got Renee Zellweger in her prime, and it's basically Jim Carrey playing opposite Jim Carrey.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of funny because it's sort of the two.
Which has sold me on Sonic 3 as well.
Yeah, right. The two like extremes of his comedic personality, right? We're like the nice guy who, you know, terrible things happen to him and watch how he gets hurt and how zany it is. But then there's also just like the out-of-control id character, which is essentially Ace Ventura.
Mm-hmm. Ah!
But
Come on, he came out of nowhere.
And I know it definitely wasn't the first movie where he was like allowed to kind of go off the rails, but it was the first one that I saw where they let him like swear to his heart's content.
Oh, I Me, Myself, and Irene?
Yeah. Which
Liar
again,
Liar is also
like, there's
a funny
something
one
to be
to me.
said for like well-placed comedic swearing, you know?
I will say, you were talking about Ace Ventura, and I don't know if like the first one would hold up to me. I'd have to watch it again.
Where like the whole central joke is, ew, trans, gross.
Oh, it's trans, yeah.
Yeah, right. The second one I think was definitely the funnier of the two.
And just in general, like the jokes and everything and how he acted, because he was still kind of getting his acting chops a little bit with the first Ace Ventura.
Right.
And I think with the second one, come on, die. You know what? We're hacking.
But then there's also parts of the second one where the main joke is, wow, African culture, how weird.
That's true. That is true. Chicago.
I will say, though, like, and I don't remember the scene verbatim, because like I said, it's been a while, but I do remember the duel scene where he has to fight the guy with spears.
Yeah.
I think when I first saw that as like a 9-year-old, I laughed so hard I peed. Where he throws the spears into his legs.
Into his knees.
Yeah. It's just him.
He was so
screaming.
confident too.
But he's got such a funny scream.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I think it's that kind of like physical acting that movie cannot be not funny, you know? And Sparks, to your point, I've only seen the first Sonic movie. I really need to see the other two.
You haven't seen the second one?
No. We were talking about this because it was gonna maybe be Nick's pick for before we watched Venom, which Venom was good.
Venom. Sorry, go on.
But yeah, it's just like Nature Calls is a very physical movie.
The
Rhino thing is like everyone knows it,
that was
but
the
it
other
is funny.
That, like I think I re-peed my already peed in pants when that scene happened.
And it like, I don't know, it's one of those scenes that, I don't know, if it was someone else, it could drag on, because it's a very long scene, but it's funny throughout.
It is,
because it's just like...
The way he like abuses his car throughout the course of that too. Or like he just like flips it into the parking space.
Or him just punching out the Monopoly guy. Or the Monopoly-looking guy,
oh, yeah,
where he just like
guy.
throws him over his shoulders because he doesn't like that he's wearing fur.
Right.
So it's like, see how you like it,
right? Oh god. Okay, now I kind of do want to watch it again to see if it holds up.
Yeah, me too.
Or yeah, the rhino scene was so. Oh look, a mother rhino is giving birth. Mommy. The kids that they got for that scene too were like perfect. They genuinely looked scared, you know.
They played the part well.
They did.
Better make sure he's actually dead next time. That was dangerous, man. You're too
Hate to come in here and tell you how to fucking do your job, but
I'm here to
I got this sweet ass mech.
Copy that.
Like, right? So which
was
one of
that
us
big
is
old
cool now?
buzzsaw the Goliath
Sparks,
came
the
here to
Sonic
take out?
movies are my favorites. They're such a
Just
fun
another
opportunity for him to
defensive
let
system.
loose, chew on the scenery, and really have fun. Yeah, but you know, I gotta say, like, I was already kind of infatuated with Ben Schwartz's comedic style, and I think he's like a perfect Sonic. He's not as like
He's a good Sonic.
yeah. I mean, obviously he's not on camera, but he gives him a good voice. And you know, I think the CG is just good enough in those movies where like you really enjoy Sonic as an emotive character,
Yeah,
which is nice.
for
And
sure.
so yeah, Jim Carrey is definitely, you know, he chews the scenery and he does it really well. But I would also say he still manages not to be, he doesn't steal the show in those movies. Which is a good thing because, you know, he's the villain and you want to care about Sonic.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't say he's playing it understated because it's Jim Carrey and he doesn't do understated anything. But yeah, like his Robotnik character is good.
I don't usually get a partner. It's kind of fun.
Ow.
Oh God, everything
Oh no,
hurts.
I'm dead. I don't
Why
usually
was
get
I
a partner.
programmed
It's
to feel
kind of
pain?
nice. Ah!
Snake.
I think it's just gonna boot me a few seconds ago, so that's good.
I don't know about you, but I'm like, I know we just talked about this, but I'm this is making me kind of thirsty to play Zone of the Enders now too.
Oh yeah, that's a game. I've never played those games. I really should
You
because
know,
I liked.
the first one was really almost like a tech demo for the PS2. The second one was where it really hit its stride, which I guess is why the first one never gets re-released.
There it is.
But I would have to give... So, for one thing, I remember the second one being really hard at some points. So I'd have to play it again, one, to see if I'm still any good at it. But then, two, I don't have an accurate memory of how long the game actually is. So, like, it could be, you know, 3 or 4 episodes, or it could be 15 to 20, and I've just completely forgotten how long it is.
I don't know. I have no idea. I always figured it was like a 6 to 8 hour game.
That's what I'm thinking. Totally that makes sense to me. But you know, it's kind of funny though. The original one on PS2 was like a 2.5 hour game.
Yeah,
which, like I said, it was really more of a tech demo. And I remember
like some of those...
I bought it because it came with the Metal Gear Solid 2 demo.
Oh yeah. And same with, like, the Bouncer was kind of like Square Enix getting used to the PS2.
Well, the Bouncer,
it's not like it was
though,
a super short game. But
yeah,
it was
the
like,
Bouncer
what,
was super
5
short,
hours?
But you were meant to play it. Like, you didn't actually beat the game just by getting to the final boss once. Like, you had to beat it with every character and then unlock all their, like, secret story beats in order to see the actual ending of that game.
Okay, gotcha.
So, like, even though, yeah, you're right, the story itself is an hour and a half long, every character experience... It was actually really kind of innovative, because every character in that game saw the story and went through different sequences of the story. And the cool part of it is that you could actually kind of mix and match them. Like, yes, the easiest way to do it would be to just play straight through as one character and then play straight through as another character. But at any point in the story, you could deviate and pick, you know, whose eyes you want to see the next sequence of events through.
That was pretty cool.
And it could be completely different. But, like, there's parts where the characters go in 3 separate directions. Oh, no!
All right.
Where they go in 3 separate directions, and it's all just, like, completely not related to what you saw with the other character. It's really cool. The only problem was, obviously, is that, like, when Square Enix showed off the game, well, it was still Squaresoft, when they showed off the game, like, they had it envisioned as a kind of open brawler where, like, you had total interactivity with the environment during your fights, and none of that ended up happening. And what was there, like, there were some, like, I kind of liked the pressure-sensitive combos. It was a good use of that controller. But, like, until you unlock those combos, like, it was actually one of those games that got substantially better the longer you played it. Because, like, when you first start the game, the controls are extremely clunky and not super responsive because you just don't have access to any of, like, the main parts of the combat system. Like, you can't really do anything and except for punch. And it's super slow and super awkward, and like the combat really suffers for it. So most people, I kind of feel like, who played the bouncer maybe only played like at most one playthrough, and they're like, wow, this really sucked. I played it with our friend Aaron, and I actually really liked it overall. Like, it was really hard to get into, but again, once you get to a certain level and you actually start unlocking combos and the combat stops being so gratuitous, or what's the word I'm looking for? Not gratuitous, just
repetitive?
Sluggish. Yeah, is probably the best word. But then it's actually a really fun game. And like I said, the way that they do the story and like the unlockables was super innovative for the time. And in fact, I can't think of too many other games that have really gone that route with story presentation. Like, how much of that game did you actually play?
None of it, but I've seen the whole thing.
You've seen the whole thing, okay.
From your perspective, mostly, and Let's Plays and stuff.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I guess humans used to use
Because I was gonna say, I don't recall playing that very much with you, but I guess I showed you enough.
Ow!
Oh, God!
Yeah, you did.
the facility to increase their overall machine production.
Boy, it kind of sucks that they can do that much damage to you.
Yeah, one hit, so I can't get hit twice. At least in a row.
I was gonna say, at least until...
At least until I'm out of this damn ship, right?
It's 75% health again.
All their money into their Air Force.
Right? And none into their their infantry.
Also, I'm very lucky. Well, not lucky. I did this on purpose, but the sword that I always have equipped, one of its properties when you upgrade it all the way is to be able to destroy bullets.
Yeah, they can pop the bubbles there.
Yeah, so my bullets can always destroy the bright things, but they can't destroy the dark ones. And usually nothing can destroy the dark ones. But my sword, it translates to your flight unit. Jesus.
Oh my God.
It translates to your flight unit, and so I can actually destroy the dark ones too.
Oh,
which
cool.
is very, very helpful. Especially when
nice.
one hit can kill you, or two hits.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, that was very interesting, where there was like, you could miss so much of that game, especially because it started out so clunky, and it's just like, yeah, this sucks.
Yeah, I think most people rented it and were just like, wow, what a flop. And, you know, the combat was definitely not what they promised when they showed it off.
Well, yeah, it's like, that's what Square did for a long time. Like, lest we forget the Final Fantasy 13 demo, where it's just, it looked like a fucking cutscene, and it turns out, yeah, they were promising way too much.
Uh-huh. And really 15, even though they managed to salvage that into a functional, fun game. And really 13 too, but I just disagree philosophically with the direction 13 took.
I get you, yeah.
But like, sure. I acknowledge that I did have fun playing it at the time, and it's overall a good game. It's just the plot was just such a freaking garbled mess to me.
They really just threw you into it with like the terms and everything, and it was just like, guess I'll ask questions later.
Yeah, and which would have been forgivable if it had like a really satisfying payoff with some of like the terms and the side characters and everything that they introduced. Like, not really.
Ow.
Save for a couple of exceptions. Like Sid. Like, you kill Sid at one point, and then he's back at the very end, but you don't really interact with him. He's just kind of window dressing, and then he lets himself be killed. Yeah, what is I don't even remember that part.
You go into the data log, and it's just like, fucking, who was the fucking Seath? That was the Pope.
Dinsley.
Barcangelus.
His real name was Barcangelus.
Daisley was the Pope's name. It's like, Daisley brought him back to make him suffer. It's like, what?
All right. But again, none of that gets explained or...
Not in the game. No.
Elaborated on at all. And it's not even a significant point, right? Like, that's what pissed me off about 13. It had, like, a lot of kind of really cool-looking window dressing, that was just that, though, like window dressing. Like, none of it was actually relevant. Like the Psychors or whatever, like Lightning was like this future cop, and it doesn't fucking matter at all. Like, she has like a boss character who was originally supposed to be kind of integral to the story, or I don't know. Like, all that stupid stuff. Like, and she was supposed to have some kind of history with that Jill character who you kill about halfway through the game.
Who?
Jill. Well, yeah, exactly. Who? the gray-haired chick with the glasses. She was supposed to be kind of like...
Oh, Jill, that's
Nabat
right.
Or something like that.
Nabat. I think, not even you. I think Daisley just kills her or something. I don't know.
Off camera. And again, like, so much happens off camera, and it's really dumb.
Sparks, when you say spinning wildly, are you talking about me?
Probably. Machines might not think of spinning wildly as a valid tactic. That's right. Oh shoot, what was that? What else was? I was gonna bash 13 for one more thing. Oh yeah, and then just like the whole character of Vanille.
Oh yeah, Vanille.
Which is just the most egregious thing in the game to me. Like, you know, like they always have like sort of the quirky female character in every Final Fantasy, but Vanille was such a space cowboy that I literally, and I think I've said this to you before, I had a theory through most of the game that the reason she was acting so strangely and like would just kind of speak in all of these non sequiturs that have nothing to do with anything going on around was that for some reason like there was this parallel universe or like these ancient gods or something that only she could see and interact with. And I thought, okay, so when that gets revealed, that will make sense of her character. And then it just never happened.
I mean, maybe they decided that was a good idea later because Lightning Returns, she can see ghosts.
Oh, really?
Something.
And see,
she can see something.
If in the original
she's a much
13,
more serious character.
That was going on behind the scenes, I would have accepted it and been like, okay. So yeah, like they didn't explain it at the beginning, but they didn't explain it because it was a mystery and you were meant to be confused by her. I don't think in the original 13, though, that's what was going on. Like, you were not meant to be confused by her. She was poorly written.
Way too just quirky.
Yeah.
Ugh.
She was just very, very poorly written.
All of a sudden, I'm, like, really bad at this hacking game. Ow!
Oh, no.
I suck. I don't know why it feels sluggish to me, but...
Noggin.
Basically. This man's mind just like a fortress.
But yeah, and then 15, honestly, not that much better, but at least I cared about the core characters, and I thought Arden was kind of a really cool villain, and yeah.
Alright, I got it this time.
But by the end of 13, I was glad it was over. By the end of 15, like when they rolled through the credits and they ended with like Noctis just saying thank you to the bros, I thought that was a really moving ending.
Yeah, I thought the ending was definitely moving.
Yeah.
They ended up making a good story of it. You know, I think the strongest part were the relationships.
Oh, absolutely. Like, that was the whole central function of that game was, you know, just kind of the concept of brotherhood.
Okay. Yeah, Addie definitely likes 13. That was our first Final Fantasy
Addie
game
loves,
together.
okay, and I don't want to like completely trash it because there's like a lot to love there. It's just kind of the way that they structured the story that really made me frustrated with it.
Oh, yeah. For me, it's just like, it takes way too long to warm up. And of course, it has a soft spot in my heart for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, the most enjoyable part for me is definitely the post-game. Like,
oh, yeah.
After you beat Barthangelus that first
time.
Like,
where the gameplay really kicks in. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will also say for, in 15's favor, whoever's idea it was to hire Florence and the Machine deserves a gold star.
I mean, I thought the Stand By Me was like...
That's my favorite rendition of that song.
Me too!
It's beautiful.
When they first like showcased it at E3 and people started laughing, I think they were
I
like,
thought it was
why
a
are
joke
you laughing?
too. I'm like, they didn't actually. I'm like, oh, but they didn't. It's
but
really
they did.
Good.
But I think the people on stage were like, why are you laughing?
Like, don't laugh. Stop it.
Don't laugh. Do I just go up? Oh, here we go.
I guess so. Yeah, no, I thought Florence and the Machine did great. Yeah, I actually have that song on a lot of my playlists. I enjoyed it so much.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been a really good song, anyways. But her singing of it was really good, and then just kind of that little kind of undercurrent of the FF theme throughout it, I thought was really cool.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, I mean, like the opening bits is the doon 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 doon. Like they kind of do a little bit of the riff of the series main theme.
Okay, I'm gonna have to listen to it again.
Yeah,
there was she did like what 3 songs for the game.
Oh really?
Yeah, and one of them was like in the DLC for Gladio.
I didn't know that.
But I don't know where the third one is.
God, the DLC in that game was real bad.
Gladio's was not good. As far as like gameplay, none of it was really that good.
I thought Promptos was the only one that like I completed and thought, okay, well, that was alright, I guess. It filled in something.
I was about to say, Gladio's could have been nothing. It could have been part of the main story. Promptos should have been part of the main story. Like,
yeah, because honestly, like out of all 3 of them, his is the one that actually kind of fills in a few holes.
And then, what's his name?
Ignis.
Ignis should have been just part of the story as an alternate ending or something. Like,
yeah, which essentially it is. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
And then Arden's was just confusing nonsense.
Arden's was the longest, right? But I definitely didn't.
It was like you actually got like a whole new map with him, but it was also kind of stupid because part of it, and I'm still confused. I'd have to replay it at some point because part of it didn't actually happen. It wasn't canon because they meant for it to be an introduction to Noctis's own DLC, which didn't end up happening.
Yeah.
But then the other part of it makes even less sense because he gets into a duel with King Regis. And you would think if Regis knew that, you know, this other king was out there prior to the events of the game, he would have worked a whole hell of a lot harder to make sure he never got back into Insomnia, right?
Yeah.
So
he dueled with
all
younger
Arden's
Regis?
DLC does is make Regis look really incompetent.
Yeah, they really, and you can tell from all the, like, not necessarily retconning, but just like, oh, you know what, this happened, and this person knew the whole time, like, that it's just it's a bandaging of just a bunch of different stories from a main story that they couldn't finish.
That's exactly right, and I think I've shared with you that novel is actually out there now.
Oh, yeah. Which is basically the Noctis DLC?
Yes, and they because it's not in the game, they're not calling it the true ending, but it's very clearly the true ending.
Yeah.
Because it has Noctis figuring out, hey, Arden really got screwed, and then them teaming up to take out Bahamut and Arden sacrificing himself at the end.
Oh yeah, Bahamut is... that was definitely supposed to be like the... Even when it wasn't Luna Freya and it was like Stella and stuff, I think the main plot was always supposed to be whether it was Bahamut or Edo,
some other old god.
When it was still like 13, that it was supposed to be some god that you ended up being the enemy, and it was manipulating things, and you were always supposed to team up with who ended up being Arden.
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to be like a duet, like a deuterogonist thing.
Yeah,
like, later
and that's kind of funny because if you look back to the very first trailer of Versus 13, Arden is actually there.
Yeah, walking up the steps and stuff.
Yeah. And his appearance is almost exactly the same as it ended up being in the final game.
Yeah, for sure.
So like you're right. It was always meant to be like, you know, Arden is this kind of like mysterious figure, and you know, once you figure out who he is, like he presents himself as an enemy, but he's really not.
Yeah.
But, you know, the game as it will forever exist is, you know, yeah, he absolutely did get fucked, and now you have to kill him.
And now he's crazy.
Now he's crazy. That's right. Sometimes people go fucking crazy. It's not fair, but you have to kill him. I mean, that's essentially the story.
Yeah, it is.
Which, again, like, the real story ended up being, you know, the relationships between the 4 main characters. But,
oh, for sure.
Which is still a good story.
And it's like, throughout the game, just like the little quips and stuff, the back and forth. Yeah, that was the enjoyable part of that game.
Absolutely.
I mean, 16 just kind of had that and more. Like,
I was gonna say, I guess the last thing I'll say about the Sparks, sometimes people just go crazy. That's a mood. Yeah. I will say though that it just makes me all the more grateful for 16 just being a not only coherent story, but an expertly written story that sticks so closely to its main principle and tells a complete tale about its protagonist from start to finish, right? There's no, like, obscurity to it, right? Or like, wait, what happened to this character? Did he just disappear and was he something? No. It's not like simple, but it's simple in its premise, and I think it was deliberately so because of I hope it was Square Enix like learning a lesson from 13 and 15. Like, hey, you know, if we try to make it too complicated or there's too many moving pieces and we take 10 years to develop it, it's never going to get...
I mean, then again, though, there's a lot of lore to the world if you want to look for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot to dig in there, and I like how they did it with the 1,000 tomes and
yes, I thought that was really well done.
Time with the whatever it was, the active like story, whatever.
But like, if you never engage with any of that, you still get Clive's total story.
Oh yeah, you get the main beats,
and you can absolutely follow it.
And Clive
and there's like nothing in the ending that's just kind of like hanging out there, like it feels unfinished in any way. It absolutely feels finished.
Yeah,
and I get that that's like a super low bar to expect from an RPG, which is a narrative-based game.
Yeah.
But the fact that they did it, and they did it well, really made me happy. I love Clive's story, and I love Clive as a protagonist.
Ooh, speaking of, pretty shortly after, or is it? No, it's even like 3 days before, because I think the Distant Worlds.
Oh shit!
That's
yes,
the 26th,
I have to talk to you about that.
Oh, okay.
Go on, you first.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think it's the 23rd that what do you call it? Rebirth comes out on the PC.
Oh, sweet.
Ooh.
So, Distant Worlds,
you can talk to me now, or you can talk to me later
money.
about it. Oh, yeah, that's right.
One, I still owe you some money. But then two, here's my current plan, and I want to throw this out there. I've got the Tesla, which, you know, great car. Electric infrastructure being where it is, I'm actually thinking about just getting a bus ticket up there for $40.
Oh, okay.
If I do that, would you be able to hop on a rail and pick me up from, like, the central station in Chicago?
Yeah, that would be easy.
Okay, would it? Okay, because I don't want to put you out, but at the same time, like, I don't want to drive my car up there and then have to, like, struggle to find a place to charge and park and all that.
Oh, yeah, because I don't have a place. I don't have a garage for it or anything.
Sweet. So yeah, I think I would just like to hop on a bus from, like, literally a bus ticket from here to Chicago is so cheap that it's actually even cheaper than charging my Tesla at a paid station.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And you don't have to drive or think about anything.
Yeah, I'll just be able to play my Steam Deck the whole way up there.
That's awesome. Hell yeah.
Actually, kind of relaxing.
It'd be so easy to pick you up from like Union or something. That'll be, yeah. The only thing is I got to figure out what day you're coming down.
So I was thinking Saturday the 25th.
Okay, because I think it's the 25th that I work 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And so I'm gonna try to get that day off.
Okay.
Because I picked that up without even thinking about it. It's like, oh shit. So I'm gonna put that on our board. Worst case, if I don't get it off, I'm thinking you would just be hanging out here playing my games or something.
Yeah, and that'd be fine. So let me take a look here, because I've actually got I haven't purchased the tickets yet. I wanted to clear this with you before I did, but the ones that are available to me are Saturday, January 25th. There is a 6:45 a.m. departure from Bloomington that arrives in Chicago at 11:15. And then the only other one is a 3:30 to 8 p.m.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So either way, 5 hours on the bus, which is not a big deal to me at all. It's just a question of, do I get there like at 11 or do I get there at 8 p.m.?
Okay, gotcha. Alrighty.
And then I figured I'd leave like super early Monday.
Okay.
And it would depart from the same place. It's the Chicago bus station, like right in downtown.
Okay. Yeah, if you depart Monday, oh yeah, I have no control over this because it just records you doing it the first time, and then it just plays that back in 9S's scenario.
That's really funny.
But what was I gonna say? Yeah, if you're leaving Monday, I really want to get that Saturday off because I don't want it to just be like, okay, sleep here. Okay, we go to the concert.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, and if that were the case too, then I would definitely try for the early arrival so that we actually had Saturday to hang out and game.
Yeah.
In order. Let's start by getting the brightness set.
They might be able to help me out. Because I've helped them out plenty of times at the other job. So every once in a while when I'm like, you know what, can I get this day off? I'm sorry I picked it up. I can ask them tomorrow and I will let you know.
Okay, yeah, let me know, and then once I hear from you, I'll just go ahead and buy the tickets.
Okay, sounds good.
And then let me know what I owe you for the concert off camera, too.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Not that it really matters, but...
What the fuck am I doing?
How does this look? Roger that.
Oh, shoot, Addie made a comment here that I missed the whole context for. Let me know if you need help. I got the spares.
The spares?
Now let's take
I don't know when she sent that, because I was looking down at my phone at the tickets.
Spare what, Addie?
I'm gonna call out to you.
Sorry, Addie.
Mattress?
Oh, keys.
Ma'am?
Oh, the spare keys. Yeah, if you get here and I'm at work or something, to just let you in.
Hello? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say the other thing. I mean, it would cut into my spending a little bit. Is like if like you're absolutely jammed, I could just like get there and then get an Uber to your place, which would not be a problem either.
Nah, don't worry about that. No, we'll figure it out.
But I also like riding trains, so that's kind of cool. She writes, she also has the air mattress. Who said anything about an air mattress? I'm the big spoon.
Anyway, that takes care of the settings. What the heck?
What the heck? My pulse rate is rising.
You don't get that line.
Arousal?
Back to normal now.
That's definitely why you choose there's something calming about your voice, because that's the only way to get that line in 9S's scenario.
Oh, that's funny.
I took way too long with this, though.
You did. This was stupid.
This is stupid. I really did not like the brightness, apparently.
Well, I think I might have been complaining to you, too, because I didn't realize that I had left HDR on, and it was, like, wildly bright for me.
Maybe. That's
right. I remember asking you about that, like, hey, is it, like, stupid bright for you?
Okay.
And it's like, I don't think so.
Okay. I forgot about that.
We were, like, trying to figure that out for, like, 20 minutes.
So, once you're finished making adjustments, you can go ahead and close this out.
Oh, there is, like, different options under sound. You could, like, change their voices. But anything but the default, you can't even understand them. It's just like, it's like Star Fox sounding. All the way to the shadows from the first NieR game. They had their own language, and they basically sound like that. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, it's a little weird.
What was the first NieR game? Was that like about a samurai or something?
He was the Xbox version / the only version we got.
But he was like a super macho looking guy in the West and like a very like Final Fantasy looking guy in the East.
Yeah, and then the remake or the remaster, whatever, is just that version with the young protagonist. So the older samurai looking guy, you're trying to save your daughter Yorha, or Yona.
Interesting.
And in the other version, you're trying to save your sister, Yona. So her character doesn't change, but your relationship to her does.
Never knew that.
I see.
I also didn't know, well, like, obviously the connection here being Yorha, right?
Well, I think maybe her name is Yona, but there's definitely some connections, especially later in this game. They start connecting the games a bit more.
Is it somehow connected with Drakengard too, or is it just spiritual successor kind of stuff?
No, they're all connected.
Oh, that's wild.
The whole
they're
world,
wildly different thematically.
Yeah, the whole world of NieR comes from the ending E of Drakengard.
Ending EE, that is hyper specific.
Yeah, so Drakengard 2 and 3 have nothing to do with NieR, but Drakengard 1 does.
That is so weird.
And everything in this world.
Who's the director of these games? This is like
Yoko
someone's
Taro.
pet project, obviously.
Oh yeah, he's a fucking insane person. Oh.
He's a fucking insane.
He is an insane
trust
person
him with your children.
He's the guy that always has the moon mask, which is basically a meal.
That absolutely makes sense now because the moon mask is in this game. Duh.
Yeah, moon mask is in this game. You're right.
Yep.
Oh, speaking
that's
of,
the thing that threw me off last episode. What the fuck is that? I
forgot because I went through the game so quickly. He's a shop, but I never encountered him. We'll see him. We'll see him sometime during 9S's playthrough.
He just really loves around. 9S.
9S is awesome. 9S is cute.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm thinking it's going to be next time I'm Play the Hits.
All right, this was fun.
We're going to hack some shit. We'll probably get to at least the amusement park or something. But yeah,
we'll get at me ASAP here, and we'll finalize the plans for the concert here. We've got. I just realized it's only 20 days away, which is wild.
Yeah, seriously.
I keep thinking of January as a couple months out yet. Here we are.
Alrighty, yeah, I'll hit you up in a second here once I remember how much it costs, but it's not anything crazy.
All right, night, Sparks.
Night, peeps.
Later, buddy.
We'll see you next time, man.